We'd like to again welcome you to our evening katha. We hope you're all safe, and those of you who are locked down or locked in some way or another, you're increasing your bhajan and sadhana, increasing your hearing and chanting. You've all come here to increase your hearing, and you've engaged me in the service of chanting, so it's all very happy. So today we're going to go, yesterday we were in Nandagam, so we'll continue in Nandagam. We'll go to Vrinda Kunda today. So to start off, we'll sing a very beautiful song of Srila Viswanath Chakravarti Thakur called Vrindadev Astakam. We may not sing all the verses because it's quite a long Astakam, but it's very sweet and you'll enjoy it very much. Gange champe tarid virindi, Gange champe tarid virindi, Rochi pravaha snapitatma vrinde, Bandhu karandu dyutide vyavaso, Bandhu karandu dyutide vyavaso, Vrinde numaste charanaravindam, Bimbadrodit varamandahasya, Bimbadrodit varamandahasya, Nasagra mukta dyutidi pitasye, Vichitna ratna bharana sriyadye, Vichitna ratna bharana sriyadye, Vrinde numaste charanarvindam, Samasta Vaikunta Shiromano Sri, Samasta Vaikunta Shiromano Sri, Krishnasya Vrindavana Dhanyadamne, Dadarikare Vrishabhanuputra, Dadarikare Vrishabhanuputra, Vrinde Numaste Charanarvindam, Datta Tvam Kirtise Sat Palava Pushpa Bringa Bhadvaptala Pushpa Palava Bringa Mrigadi Vir Madhava Keli Kunja Madhvadi Bir Bandi Vibhushamana Madhvadi Bir Bandi Vibhushamana Vrinde Numaste Charanarvindam Tvadiyadutyena Nikunjayunor Tvadiyadutyena Nikunjayunor Atyukayo Keli Vilasa Siddhi Tvadsobhagam Kena Niruchatam Tad Tvadsobhagam Kena Niruchatam Tad Vrinde Numaste Charanarvindam Rasa Vilaso Vasatisha Vrinda, Rasa Vilaso Vasatisha Vrinda, Bane Tvare Sangri Saroja Seva, Labhya Chapumsam Kripaya Taveva, Labhya Chapumsam Kripaya Taveva, Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam, Tvam Kirtyase Satvata Tantra Vidbir, Tvam Kirtyase Satvata Tantra Vidbir, Lila Bidana Kila Krishna Takti, Taveva Murti Tulasi Niloke, Taveva Murti Tulasi Niloke, Vrinde Namaste Radhanarvindam, Bhaktya Bahina Aparada Lakshay, Bhaktya Bahina Aparada Lakshay, Krishna Shiptas Chamakani Taranga Madhye, Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna. Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna. Brinde numaste charanada vindam. Brindastakam ya srinuyet patidva. Brindastakam ya srinuyet patidva. Brindavanadisha padabda bringa. Saprapya Vrindavana Nityavasam. Saprapya Vrindavana Nityavasam. Tata Prema Sevam Lavate Kritarta. Tata Prema Sevam Lavate Kritarta. Srimati Vrinda Devi Maharani Ki Jai. Om Ajnana Timir. Oh, welcome, Hare Krishna. Welcome to our evening katha. We hope you're all safe and sound and keeping inside wherever there's lockdown. We want you to pray. We just got information that 31 devotees at the Swami Bagh temple in Dhaka, Bangladesh have been tested positive for corona. So we can pray for our sisters and brothers there. And there's 2 temples in Dhaka. One is very large property called Swami Bagh. The other one is Radha Govinda temple. So Swami Bagh is on quarantine right now, so we can pray for them. So today yesterday we were in Nandagam, so we'll stay in Nandagam. Today we'll go to Vrindakund. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadandikam Aradhanastranandantai Vridam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Vadambujo Dulisyam Janma Janmani. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Piyai Kesavasya Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satchabachai Namo Namah. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripasindhuveva Patidanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. So yesterday we forgot one tiny piece of the katha of them moving from Gokul. Because we heard how all the cowherd men put all their belongings and all the ladies and children on bullock carts to take them from Gokul to Vrindavan. So it's described, Krishna and Balaram, they were just little boys, and we know that little boys ask too many questions. So he was asking his Ma Yasoda and Rohini so many questions on the journey. Oh Maya, what's this tree what's leaf has got a tail? What's this tree what's leaf has got a tail? Ye kain ki pear hai jiske pate ki poonche Maya. Mother Yasoda looked, he said, oh, this is people tree. Maybe you've seen the people tree, like we have a huge one in front of Prabhupada's Samadhi. It is shaped like a heart and comes down to a little poonch, tail. And as soon as little breeze is there, they're fluttering in the wind. Then they went a little further, they said, oh Maya, what's this tree what's got a beard? What's this tree what's got a beard? Ye kain ki pear hai jiske dari hai Maya. Mother Yasoda looked and said, oh Lala, this is banyan tree. In Hindi we call bat or bargat. But in English we call it banyan tree. One time, speaking of Bangladesh, when I was in Bangladesh one time in Sylhet, where Mahaprabhu appeared, well not appeared, but his family was from there. Jagannath Misra was from just near Sylhet. They had a huge book on Indian trees, and it described how they got the name of banyan. Because at British times, the Britishers saw that all the merchants used to put their stalls and their push carts underneath the shade of that particular tree. Now in ISKCON we know the merchant class of men as Vaishyas. But in India we say baniya. So the British used to call that the baniya tree, so gradually it became banyan tree. So Madhya Soda Lala, this is banyan tree. And special thing about banyan trees and peepal trees, they're very good for the environment. But we know that trees give off oxygen in the daytime and carbon dioxide in the nighttime. But peepal trees and banyan trees are all in the same family. They give off oxygen 24/7. They're very special trees for the environment. They went a little further and Lala said, Are Maya, what is this? What is this little yellow fruit? What is this little yellow fruit? And Madhya Soda looked and she said, Lala, this is bear. I don't think we have any equivalent in English, although I saw one entry in the net calling it jujube. It's a little yellow fruit, comes just February when we have our Vrindakun festival time. January and February you'll see all along the Prikrama path of Vrindavan, the ladies there with the little baskets of bear. This tree has got very sharp curved thorns and nice little fruit. It tastes almost like an apple, somewhat, and it's got one big long seed inside, almost like a date, and shaped like almost like a date. Little yellow fruit. So Madhya Soda said, Lala, this is bear. In Sanskrit we call Badri. In fact, Badrinath is named because there's a bear tree there, Badri tree there, that was incarnation of Lakshmi. She saw her husband was performing penances and austerities with no shelter. So Lakshmi ji incarnated as a Badri tree to give shade and shelter to her husband. Therefore, because of her piety, even Lord Narayan has become known by her name, Badri Nath. Then he heard a sound. He said, Oh Maya, what's that sound? What's that sound? And Madhya Soda listened, Oh Lala, that's the peacock. And the peacock is calling, Ke-ka, Ke-ka, Ke Radha, Ka Krishna. The peacock is calling Radha Krishna, Radha Krishna. But Rupa Goswami, he says there's a deeper meaning. Ke means who. Just like we know in the Madhya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu sat with Sanatana Goswami at Dasaswamedh Ghat in Kashi for many days. But that whole section begins with Sanatana Goswami saying, Ke Ami. That everybody thinks I'm a great scholar, but I don't know who I am. Ke Ami. Who am I? Why I'm suffering from this threefold miseries, tritap. So Ke, the question means who. So the question is, who is there? This Krishna, he's an ocean of ras. He's Rasara Sri Krishna. Ocean of ras. Who is there who can possibly reciprocate with that great ocean of ras that is Sri Krishna? And the answer is coming, Ka. It is only she, Sri Radha, with her ocean of Mahabhav. She can reciprocate with that Rasara Sri Krishna. And we know in the Rasaras and the Mahabhav combined, that is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, Krishna was asking so many questions on their way to Nandagam. So there's one very nice book by Nahari Sarkar called Bhakti Ratnakar. And the 5th chapter describes all about Govardhan, all about Braj Prikrama. It describes how Raghava Pandit takes Srinivas and Narottam, the two second generation of Vaishnavacharyas in our Gaudiya line, on Prikrama of Vrindavan. And when he gets to Nandagam, he says, just see on the western side of Nandishvar Parvat. We heard yesterday this hill of Nandagam is called as Nandishvar. The place where Vrindadevi eternally resides and organizes all the Leelas of Braj. So Vrindakund, like I said yesterday, the temple is actually facing to the west. So we're living there under the gaze of Nanda Baba. It's directly, in fact, it's directly on the western side, because those who've seen Vrindakund, it's in front of a big tree, and I saw that, I speculated that why Baba put it there, because I saw on 21st March and 21st September, if you're sitting right in front of the temple in the middle of the archway, you see the sun rise directly behind the temple tower of Nandagam. 21st March and 21st September means equinox day and night are equal. So sun will rise directly in the west on that day. So then it moves over this way, it moves over that way. It goes north and south in a space of 1 year. So we're directly on the western side. And what does it say? Where Vrinda Devi eternally resides. This is the eternal residence of Vrinda Devi. We've seen, those who've seen the pictures of Vrinda Devi, she's the goddess of the forest of Vrindavan. In fact, this whole forest is named after Vrinda Van. It is Vrinda Devi's forest. But she has voluntarily surrendered it at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Therefore Radharani has become Vrindavan Ishwari. So this is the eternal residence of Vrinda Devi where she stays. And what does it say she does? She organizes all the Leelas of Braj. Every morning from the opposite side of the hill, eastern side, there's a place called Purnamasi Guvat, Purnamasi's cave, where Purnamasi stays along with Nandimukhi, her granddaughter, and her grandson, Madhumangal. And she and Nandimukhi come there to Vrindakund just early in the morning when the sun is rising. And they sit there with Vrinda Devi and they plan out all the Leelas of Braj. This is why this is so important place. All the Leelas of Braj are planned out from this place. This is the Braj Leela Planning Commission. Braj Leela Planning Commission. Sometimes Krishna, he comes over and he gives some hint what the Leelas should be today. Sometimes from Barsana, Radharani comes. Because on the road we go way around like that to Barsana, but from my bhajan kutir there, you can look, Barsana is just a little south of Vrindakund. So she comes over, she gives some hint what should be the Leelas today. And Vrinda Devi is completely surrendered at the lotus feet of Radharani. Whatever Radharani will suggest immediately becomes her order. And she makes the Leela according to that. Then Vrinda Devi, she executes all the orders. She's like the supreme temple commandress of Braj. She decides where the Leelas will be, who will be in them, what parts they'll play, what they'll wear, what they'll have in their hair, everything she decides. Then she decides what trees will be there, what flowers they'll have, what colors they'll have, what scents they'll have, what birds will be there, what colors they'll have, what songs they'll sing, what other animals will be there. Everything is under her control. She's like the supreme temple commandress of Braj. So she plans out all the Leelas. And when we see the deity of Vrinda Devi, she's a very beautiful gopi. This is the original form of Vrinda Devi, is the goddess of the forest of Vrindavan. And just like all the Lakshmijis are expansions of Srimati Radhika, all the Tulsi trees are expansions of Srimati Vrinda Devi. And she's called Vrinda. Tulsi is also known as Vrinda. She has 8 names. One of them is, you know that after a while there's so many Tulsis, your whole garden becomes overrun with Tulsis. So we know Bhakta Vrind, right? So she's female, so she's Vrinda, because she always grows in association with many, many, many other Tulsi trees. And when we see Vrinda Devi with her right hand, she's giving us blessing. And with her left hand, she's holding a lotus flower. On that lotus flower you'll see a little yellow parrot. Because I heard from Baba Madhav Das, who donated this place to ISKCON, that previously in Braj there was red, yellow, blue, green, so many different colored parrots. Orange. Now we only have the green ones left. But actually all of the colored ones, they went off to Australia. I went to Australia and we found so many different colored parrots there. They all went off to Australia. So that one is a yellow parrot and his name is Daksh. And Daksh has millions and millions of parrot disciples, and they fly all over Braj. and come back and tell Vrinda Devi everything that's going on. This is how she maintains the Leelas. They tell everything that's going on. This is like Vrinda Devi's mobile with complete coverage of Braj. But in your mobile, you only know your conversation. But Vrinda Devi, she knows everybody's conversation. Who's going where, who they're going with, what they're talking about, what they're going to do. All the information comes back to Vrinda Devi. In this way, she maintains the pastimes. She's called, in this Vrinda Devastak we were just singing, Biswanath Chakravarti Thakur calls her the Leela Shakti. She's the pastime energy of the Lord. Somehow she's made this interesting Leela now that we're all stuck here. We can't leave the temple. Nobody can come in. We just had most ecstatic Chandan Yatra festival, but nobody was there. Usually we have to fight to get place to see, especially Radha Shyam Sundar. We've placed the pictures on Facebook and shared them around there. You can see most amazing decorations. Not just, in the old days we just used to cover the deities with sandalwood, very utilitarian-like. But we learned, especially from Radha Shyam Sundar temple downtown, they would carve little bangles and necklaces and little designs like Shyam Sundar's wearing pants and ankle bells and so many things. So now our pujaris have become very expert. If you see those pictures, so beautiful little colored, different colored chandan designs and crowns and effulgences and flute even made of chandan, everything so expertly done. It's most amazing. So anyway, we were locked in with, we saw this beautiful festival alone this time. Banki Bihari had his Charan Darshan. Somehow somebody managed to sneak a picture of that. You can see find it on the net somewhere. So anyway, she's made this Leela where we're forced to sit down and read and chant and study and talk about Krishna and hear about Krishna. So this is all Vrinda Devi's work. And who've been to Vrinda Kund, you've seen behind the temple, there's another Kund. That is known as Gupta Kund. Gupta means secret. This is a very secret place where a very special meeting of Radha and Krishna take place. This meeting takes place after the morning pastimes. A couple of weeks ago we told about the morning pastimes of Radha and Krishna, that Radharani cooks for Krishna because she got benediction from Devas Rishi. So we told that. So every day when she's in Javat, she comes to, sometimes she's coming from Javat, sometimes she's coming from Barsana, but every day she comes to Nandagam to cook for Krishna. One time she made Manohar Ladus. You can understand, Man means the heart, and Har we know means to take away, to steal, mind stealing, enchanting Ladus. You can come to Vrinda Kund, on our little bookstall we always have Manohar Ladus for sale, very tasty. Everybody in Nandagam makes them, but Vrinda Kund has got the best. So that day there's a little room where Mother Yasoda and Mother Rohini, they sit all the cowherd boys down to serve them out. And assisted by Mother Yasoda's servant girl, Dhanishta. And Dhanishta, she's very clever how to get some chewed remnant off of Krishna's plate and tie it in the corner of her sari to give to Radharani later. So one day Radharani made these Manohar Ladus. So she wants to know how Krishna will like them. So she was peeking through the window. And Krishna, he noticed that so many Manohar Ladus are on his plate. And from the corner of his eye, he saw Radharani's peeking from the window. So he picked one up and popped it in his mouth. He made a terrible face. You ever tasted neem or golden seal? Like that he made face. And Radharani was so frightened. Then Krishna, he pushed all those ladus over to Sridham's plate. Now Sridham saw all the Lala's ladus has come on his plate. he began to eat them. Ping, 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 ping. Then Radharani knew, oh, this rascal, he's just teasing. Huh? So these are some of the morning pastimes. So after the morning pastimes, Radharani and the Sakhis are cleaning up the kitchen. And Radharani says, I heard on the western side of Nandishwar Parvat, there's a very beautiful garden. Chalo dekhe aao, let's go and see. So meanwhile, that road that goes beside Vrindakund, that goes to a village called Barokar, which is the western Goshala of Nanda Maharaj. So Krishna goes down that road to get the cows to go out cow herding. Meanwhile, Radharani, she comes by a secret forest path. And she's with all the Sakhis. Suddenly in the distance she sees something and she becomes stunned. And she puts her hand on Lalita Sakhi's shoulder. Oh Lalite, what do I see? It appears to be a fresh monsoon cloud. But this fresh monsoon cloud's got a constant flow of gold and lightning. And above this monsoon cloud, there's a beautiful rainbow. But most astonishing, beneath this monsoon cloud, there's an upside down rainbow. And in front of that monsoon cloud, so many beautiful white birds are flying. Oh Lalite, what do I see? And Lalita Sakhi says, hey Radhe, steer ho jao, steady yourself. That is not a cloud, that is the broad chest of your Priya Sham Sundar. That constant flow of lightning, that is his Pitambar Dhoti, his yellow dhoti. That rainbow you see above the cloud, that is the peacock feather in his crown. That upside down rainbow is his Vanamala, his garland of forest flowers. And those birds you see flying on his, white birds you see flying on the chest, that is his pearl necklace dancing on his chest as he walks along. So then Radharani becomes steady. And she comes there and suddenly a beautiful lotus flower appears. Huge lotus flower. And in the golden whirl of that lotus flower, a beautiful golden Singhasan appears. And Radha and Krishna sit on that Singhasan together. There's 8 petals and the Astasakhis come and sit on the 8 petals. Then another 8 petals appear and the Astamanjaris come and sit on those 8 petals. Then another 16 petals appear and more Sakhis and Manjaris come. Then 32, then 64, then 128, then 256, then 512, and after a while there's megabytes and megabytes of Sakhis and Manjaris enjoying the secret Gupta meeting of Radha and Krishna. And these are the most confidential Sakhis and Manjaris. So this particular time is called Yoga Peeth, where Radha and Krishna and their very confidential servants meet together. So that is another reason why this Vrindakund is such an important place. This is the Pratakalin or Pratam. The morning, Pratakalin means morning, or Pratam means first. This is the first Yoga Pit of Braj. Madhya Kalin, you can understand Madhya, noontime. Yoga Pit is Radhakund. And Shayan Kalin is here in Vrindavan. Shayan Kalin, Shayan takes rest. Evening time Yoga Pit is Radha Govinda temple here in Vrindavan. So this is the first Yoga Pit of Braj. Every Baba who's doing Astakalin Leela Smarnam, their first meditation in the morning is on this Gupta Kund. So there's another reason why this is a very, very special place. Now Radharani, we heard before last week, couple of weeks ago, how she keeps little go-downs all around Braj just for the paraphernalia necessary for the Leelas. Just like we heard about the Gauri Leela, she got some gold paint, gold cosmetics to make Krishna golden in color and a beautiful red sari and so many things to go in his hand. So one time, another story about the go-downs. One time it was the month of Magh. Magh means December, January, when it's very cold. Now we're just at the beginning of the hot season, but very surprising. I don't know if it has anything to do with lockdown or anything, change the climate or something. Even for Chandan Yatra, it was so cool. There was just before the Chandan Darshan opened, there was big rainstorm. In fact, we have nice picture of black clouds behind Prabhupada's white marble samadhi, so beautiful. and very cool breeze. Deities must have been very, very happy with nice cool breeze to cool them down. But Magh means it's very cold. Month of December, January. Except for those of you down there in Patalaloka in Australia, New Zealand, then it's warm time. But for the rest of us, it's cold time. So, Radharani's sister-in-law, Kutila, she was noticing that every day, my sweet, delicate little sister-in-law, Radharani, she's going down to take her bath in the Jamuna. Because Magh time means that Prayag is Magh Mela. And every 12 years it's Kumbh Mela. Like a few years ago we were there for Ardha Kumbh Mela. And next year if it happens, there's going to be full Kumbh Mela in Haridwar, 2021. So Magh Mela means everybody comes and they, in that cold month of Magh, they go to the Sangam where Jamuna and Ganga join together and they take their cold bath in the cold month of Magh. So she saw every day, we don't have Ganga, we have Jamuna. So Radharani every day was going to the bank of the Jamuna in this cold month of Magh to take her bath in the cold waters of Jamuna. And Kutila began to think that my sister-in-law Srimati Radharani, she's so soft, she's so delicate, so komal, how can she possibly tolerate taking such a cold bath in this cold month of Magh, in the cold waters of Jamuna? I wonder what's really going on. So she wandered over to Nandagam and she asked one Nandagam Vasi, pray tell, what is the news of the Prince of Braj today? Oh, our Prince of Braj, Sri Krishna, he's going every morning to the bank of the Jamuna to take his cold bath in the cold waters of Jamuna in this cold month of Magh. Very religiously. Oh, very religiously, you say. I wonder what's really going on. So then Kutila began to wander down the bank of the Jamuna, looking here and there with her crooked little nose, poking it in every kunj and nook. And Rati Manjari was standing guard, and just near Madan Mohan Temple, that big hill, on the side of that hill, that is a place called Praskandananda Tirth. Praskanda means to slide. So much ecstasy is just sliding at that place. Radha and Krishna were there with all the Sakhis, and Rati Manjari was as the lookout. And she saw Kutila coming down the bank of the Jamuna, sticking her nose in every nook and corner. So she ran back to the Kunj and she told all the gopis, Bo, Bo, Devis, I bring news that is like a thunderbolt for the festival of Kupa that is going on in the flower bower. Kutila is walking down the bank of the Jamuna, she's almost to this place right now. And Radharani becomes very frightened. Oh my goodness, now what are we going to do? And Krishna Chandra says, don't worry about a thing. I will go to Vrinda Devi. I would tell her to dress me up just like Abhimanyu, and I will cut her off before she gets to this place. And then you'll see, I'll take this pastime to higher and higher heights, you'll see. So then Krishna went to Vrinda Devi, that I need to look just like Abhimanyu. So Vrinda Devi went to her little go-down, her warehouse. She opened the door, she dressed Krishna up just like Abhimanyu. So then Abhimanyu began to come from the opposite, so-called Abhimanyu, from the opposite direction. And he ran into his sister Kutila. Oh Kutila, what brings you down to the bank of the Jamuna so early in the morning? Well, I might ask you the same thing. He said, well actually I was training one of my new bull calves how to plow, and he broke the rope and ran away, and I've been looking for him everywhere and I can't find him. What brings you down here? My stupid brother. You never listen. In Russian, stupid means tupitsa. How many people online?
38, 48.
140. 2 pizza. If 140 people are here, you only brought 2 pizzas. Huh? 2 pizza. My 2 pizza brother. You never listen to us. Every day your very soft, delicate, como, sweet wife is going down to the banks of the Jamuna in this cold month of Magh, taking her cold bath in the cold waters of Jamuna. Do you really think that's what's going on? And I went to Nandagam and they said, oh, our Prince of Braj, very religiously taking his bath in the Jamuna every day in this cold month of Magh, in the cold waters of Jamuna. My stupid brother, you can't figure out what's really going on? Oh, my heart was already disturbed because I can't find my bull calf. But this news is really troubling my heart, dear Kutila. I'll tell you what. You go ahead and see if you find those 2 together. Then you come and get me, and I will watch their rascal activities from the bushes. But if you don't find them together, you come back and tell me, and I will think what to do. So Kutila wanders on down. She comes to the flower bower where Radharani and all the Sakhis are standing. And she says, Lalita says, oh Kutila, what brings you down to the bank of the Jamuna River so early in the morning? Well, I've come to learn all of your girls' activities. Well, learn all you can. Well, I've already learned everything I need to know because the scent. Oh, what is that? We want to hear from your very own mouth. There's no need for me to tell a word because the scent of Hari in this place tells the whole story. Hari also means lion. Just like we sing every day, Jayanada Hari, Nar human, Hari lion. Oh, Kutila, you smell a lion nearby? We're just poor innocent girls alone here in the forest. You've saved our lives. Don't be so smart. Just tell me who's inside this flower house here. How do we know? It might be some demigods or someone's. Well, open up the door and show me. And Lalita Sakhi says, how we can open up somebody else's door? Oh, you never open another person's door, is it? Well, I've heard you're the self-effulgent acharya in the art. And with that, she walks up and kicks down the door of the flower palace. And there she sees, on a bed of jasmine flowers, Krishna's Vanamala, his garland of forest flowers, is entwined with Radharani's broken pearl necklace. And she says, oh, innocent girls indeed, just look. This is that flower mala of that lumpet and kumpet, that rascal Sri Krishna, entwined with Radharani's broken pearl necklace. I know what's been going on here. I'm going to Braj. And I will tell Mother Jatila. And Radharani, she said, you can go wherever your fickle mind wants to take you, because these things don't belong to me, so I have nothing to fear. Well, I'm going right now. And Radharani, she says, well, go wherever you want. And she begins to move her eyebrows and wave her finger. And all the gopis are moving their eyebrows and waving their fingers. And suddenly, Kutila realizes she's surrounded by all these bold gopis alone in the forest. And she backs out of the kunj. You'll see, you'll see. And she runs back to where her so-called brother is waiting. So, she comes back, my 2 pizza brother. Just see. I found your wife's pearl necklace entwined with that rascal, that lumpet and kumpet Sri Krishna's Vanamala on a bed of lust. You don't ever listen to us. We speak for your benefit. Now what are you going to do? Oh, Kutila, this is terrible. I will tell you what, I will go to King Kamsa. Give me the evidence. Now who's got the evidence? Krishna, right? You go back to Javat and I will go to Kams. But before that, I will go to Abhimanyu, because why should we let this scandal come in our name? I will tell him this is his wife Chandravali's necklace. And he's got a good connection with Kans. And Kans will come with 100 cavalry soldiers and arrest that rascal Nandanandan and his father and throw them in a deep, dark, dingy dungeon. So you go back to Javat while I go to see Chandravali's husband is Govardhan Malla. So I will go to Govardhan Malla, then we'll go together to see Kans. So then Krishna, he goes down the bank of the Jamuna playing his flute and enjoying the leaves, bending over with their fruits, bowing down to him. And for the amount of time it would take to go to Mathura and back with Govardhan Malla. After some time, he starts towards Javat. When he reaches Javat, he calls it, "Oh, Ma Jatila, oh Ben Kutila, I have been to see King Kams. He's coming with 100 cavalry, and he will arrest that rascal Nandanandan and his father and throw them in a deep, dark, dingy dungeon. But on the way I heard the most terrible news. That rascal, that lumpen incumbent Sri Krishna, has dressed up just like me, and he's on his way here right now. So I tell you what to do. You make some gobar balls. You know gobar? Gobar means cow dung, with lots of sticks and stones inside them. And you go 2 stories up on the roof and wait for him. Give him a nice welcome. Meanwhile, you know my wife Radha. If she gets even a scent of this fellow, she can't control herself. So I will lock her downstairs with me in the room. She can't get away. And you go 2 stories up on the 2nd story roof and wait for that rascal. So Krishna locks himself downstairs with Radharani. Meanwhile, the real Abhimanyu comes. And Jatila cries out, "You rascal! You dare to come here!" And she throws a gobar ball. And "But Maya, it's me, your son, Abhimanyu. We know well who you are." And Kutila throws a gobar ball. Pam! Oh, gobar all over his new dress. He said, "But Kutila, it's me, your brother. We know well who you are. Now you get out of here right now." Another gobar ball. Pow! Oh, my mother and sister, they've become enchanted by ghosts, haunted by ghosts. Let me go find a exorcist to exorcise him. And Abhimanyu goes off to find an exorcist. Meanwhile, Krishna is locked downstairs with Radharani. So in this way, Vrinda Devi, she keeps little warehouses all around Braj just for the paraphernalia necessary for the pastimes. So we'll put our voice to rest here. And again, we pray for you to all remain safe and try to remain as Krishna conscious as you can. You're helping me a great lot by coming here to listen to me every day. It gives me some Krishna conscious thing to do instead of just being in Maya. So I thank you all for this great opportunity. You should also please give your blessings to my friend Arjun. He's behind all the technical part of this. He comes here every afternoon and sets everything up and runs it and takes care of the technical problems. So you give him his blessing. And we should all pray for the devotees in Dhaka, Bangladesh who have tested positive for corona. Hare Krishna. How many? 140. 140. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel, some other blissful place in the temple complex. Hare Krishna.